pandemic over the last year, there's more and more virtual conversations. And everyone's super excited because, hey, now we can go back and watch that video and kind of look at, what was the person's expression? How did they feel or come across? Not only what did they say, but, how are they acting and how do they look? So when you think about this new data, it's fantastic. It allows us to dig deeper. I mean, process is super important. I love the deer, by the way, Kelly. I didn't get to comment on that, the deer process. I thought that was great that you mentioned. But so when you look at facial expressions and you combine that with what was said in the back and forth of the conversation, you could actually spend a lot of time doing that yourself, right? And then when you add in other people's conversations, think about it as a CSM, you have 4 customer calls a day, and then you have to spend another 4 or 6 hours watching other customer calls, or as a leader, you have to watch your team's calls and coach them, right? I mean, it just gets out of hand really quickly. So the technology is there to do this. Do this for you, to give you insight on the calls. This call had a kind of a positive polarity, and there was some joy in there, right? Or this call, it ended in some kind of a strong emotion of positive like polarity, but there was a few doubts of almost anger and abuse, right? So you can look at kind of what's going on in these calls, and then the magic. I mean, that's great as a customer success manager's tool to be able to dig in. But when you start applying that, I guess, overall sentiment of how the customer feels about you to, the customer base, right? It's based on, hey, we had 18 conversations with these 5 people at this company. Right now, you can start to put together what's the compilation of the loyalty of that customer to you, based on what was said and how they feel. And that's not everything. Just like we said, we knew everything with usage data, right? That when you look at loyalty of a customer, now you contrast that with, hey, what is the CSM score, right? And what is their adoption score, right? So it becomes another indicator that has a lot of power in those inflection points of where they cross, where these things meet. That really brings a lot to the conversation, so you can get advanced notice on, hey, this customer looks like they're trending positive, or it looks like they're starting to get tired, they're fatiguing over time. So there's a lot of benefits to the technology, and it's not anything that you couldn't do as a customer success leader, but it just takes a lot of time. So if you can do all that very quickly and compile it up, it's not scalable. Exactly.
Yeah, because there's terabytes of data out there, all these recorded conversations and email threads, et cetera.
Each Zoom call is a gig large. I mean, it's gigantic.
It's amazing.
Right?